What is the Business Model Zoo? It's a website and a concept and a set of ideas that explains that there are 4 core types of business model. And for each of these types, what are the pathways to getting to that type? What are the risks and opportunities of following that model? And some exemplary firms that do this very well. Let's step back and ask ourselves, what is a business model? It's a descriptive mechanism that explains how a business operates, and in particular, how it monetizes its business. A key question for employees, suppliers, venture capitalists, angel investors, and managers who want to know if their business will survive or prosper. So what are these 4 basic business model types? First is the classic business model of the post-industrial revolution called the pipeline or product business model. The product business model has been associated with firms like Ford and more recently with McDonald's. It is a business that produces a product that could be tangible or intangible, where you pay for the product as a customer before you consume it. And from the point of view of the firm, this is a wonderful business because I get paid earlier than if you paid after you consumed. And therefore, I have de-risked my business. It's also a business that allows me to mass produce a product or service and thereby scale it. The second business model type is a solution. The solution business model is associated with things like hairdressing for consumers or consulting firms, where the firm engages with the customer in the process of making the product or service. And this process of engagement with the customer makes sure that the customer really gets something that she or he wants and co-creates and thereby finds more valuable. In the case of the consulting firm, it is that the consultant understands what the question is and helps you find the solution. In the case of the haircut, it's an experience that includes things like conversation, music, coffee, all sorts of other things which are ancillary to the haircut itself, but critical for the enjoyment. The difficulty from a business point of view with most solutions business models is that you typically only get paid after the service is delivered. So there's additional level of risk because you might have to engage more with the customer, engage more expense, and not get paid until later. And also, these kinds of business models are not easily scalable, except in the cases of purely digital ones. The third business model type is the matchmaker, and we all know about that. Essentially, it's a very low capital business where you run a marketplace bringing people together like an auction house, and you just orchestrate buyers and sellers. The last business model, the fourth, has really come into its own in the digital age, and this is a multi-sided platform where you have one group of customers who want something and another group of customers who are brought in to help create extra value. Classic case is Google search and advertisers. You want to find out where to eat. Google has worked out how to get restaurants to advertise and pay for their name to be on the platform, and thereby they bring you both together, they curate the result, and they get paid by the advertisers. Or in some cases, of some multi-sided platforms, such as a newspaper, by both sides. This is the most risky business to run because you have to get 2 groups of customers together and make them work together, and you only get paid if it works. On the other hand, if it scales and successful, it is probably the most profitable, especially in the digital world. So these four types of business models have different risks, different pathways to construction, different opportunities, and they are very fundamentally different. And the role of the Business Model Zoo is to explain these pathways, and more importantly, to provide you with more than 100 examples of digital and non-digital firms that have, in recent times, made these business model types very successful. These are unicorn firms. This is how we understand better how these four types can help you and your business.